Arsenal Football Club need to sign Thomas Partey. And here's why. So lads, as the coronavirus continues to keep football on pause, let's just say the journalists all across the world are getting very bored, and they continue to make rumour after rumour after rumour. And one of their main targets for rumour creating is Arsenal. Now of course, Arsenal Football Club are a massive club with millions and millions of followers, with a few of the fans being very clever and somewhat not. But in terms of rumour that continues to pick up momentum, of course that is Thomas Partey of Atletico Madrid to the Arsenal. Now of course, in terms of Partey, he is a central defensive midfielder who currently plays in Spain and of course is a Ghanaian international. In terms of Thomas Partey's current contract, it runs out in 2023. However, with that being said, he has a £50 million release clause, which a lot of clubs are looking to activate. Now with that being said, Partey has been linked with the likes of Arsenal, Manchester United and even Chelsea. And apparently Atletico Madrid are trying very hard to sign Partey down to a new contract. So let's just say the race to sign Thomas Partey is most certainly on. But with so many clubs after him, it poses the question, why exactly do Arsenal need him? So with that being said guys, in today's video we will discuss why Arsenal needs to sign Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid. Let's be talking about this. Now in terms of me and my Twitter page, if you were one of the few people that actually follow that page, you know that a lot of my tweets are very unserious. I mean, I am a person who admits right now is not to be taken seriously most of the time. But sometimes of course I want to be taken seriously, because if any single person in the Arsenal hierarchy for some reason watches my videos or looks at my tweets, just know right now, you better sign Thomas Partey or we're gonna have a few issues lads. Yo, what's going on guys, my name is Bassel and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a brand new video, and today we have got 5 reasons why Arsenal needs to sign Thomas Partey. Now of course, as I have said in the intro of this video, Thomas Partey is a player who currently plays for Atletico Madrid and is currently contracted till 2023. In terms of Partey's position, the man of course is a central midfielder / central defensive midfielder. He is a Ghanaian international, and of course lads, the man is a top baller. As I have also said already, a lot of clubs are after him, like United, like Arsenal, like Chelsea, even Juventus. So let's just say Thomas Partey is a man in demand, and in this video we are going to talk why Arsenal need to sign Thomas Partey. But with that being said guys, before we get into the video itself, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video as always. If you like to smash 100 likes out of the park, your boy would appreciate it as always as well. Also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. This is a road that has taken me a long time, but lads, it's time to get there. It's time to subscribe to Baz14 and it's time to get me to 10,000 subscribers. So if you could subscribe to your boy would of course appreciate it. And also as always lads, let me know your thoughts on the comments on the video itself on Thomas Partey. Do you think he's worth the £50 million reported release clause? And overall lads, where do you think Thomas Partey is going to go? And when it comes to Arsenal, is he the player that we need? Because of course in my eyes, he's the perfect man. But with that being said guys, let's get into this video and let's discuss 5 reasons why Arsenal needs, in capitals, to sign Thomas Partey. Let's be having your side. So lads, the first reason why is of course the strength and power. We need a bit of this lads, a bit of, well, not this, something bigger and stronger. Yeah, you get the point. But yes lads, that is right. In terms of Thomas Partey, the man is 6'1" in height and the man is an absolute powerhouse. When you look at Thomas Partey and his frame, you instantly get intimidated lads. I mean, I can only imagine standing in a tunnel next to Thomas Partey and going, wow, I am about to get battered. But of course, the point that I am trying to make about Thomas Partey is he would offer our midfield something that we clearly lack, and that is power and strength. In terms of height, we've got a bit of height in our midfield right now. I mean, of course, you've got the likes of Granit Xhaka, Matteo Guendouzi. These are not short players. Well, saying that, lads, you do also have Lucas Torreira, but we'll put him to the side for now. But in terms of the Arsenal midfield, if you look into the traits they have there, we clearly lack one thing, and that is power. I want a powerhouse. I want a player who, if you go next to him, he's going to powerhouse you out of the way. I've had enough of the days of Arsenal midfielders getting brushed to a side like they're ballerinas. I want a midfielder on my team who is an absolute tank in midfield, who you don't want to go near. If you're Kevin De Bruyne, you want to stay as far away as possible. In fact, you might as well be a defender. And in terms of Thomas Partey, he will clearly offer us that he's a player who is a very strong guy, who's a very powerful unit. Now, in terms of power, it's something that Arsenal midfielders not just lack for now, it's been for a while. If you look into the Arsenal midfielders of the past as well, the last time we had a bit of strength in there was probably Patrick Vieira. I mean, you had the likes of Alex Song and Abu Diaby, but these are players who either left too soon or were injured too much. And if you go back to Arsenal's most glorious days, of course, the Invincibles, the title wins, the undefeated runs, Arsenal had a lot of power on that team. We're talking the likes of Gilberto Silva, Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Sol Campbell. These are absolute units, lad. If you look into the players that played against the Invincibles and their quotes, they clearly all say the same thing. A lot of those players say say, just looking in the tunnel next to these absolute powerhouse tanks next to you, I mean, not only do they have the technical ability, but they are just so strong. So not only were Arsenal technically outplaying teams, we also had a team that was just so strong and so powerful. But if you look at it, ever since the departure of Patrick Vieira and the introduction of Cesc Fabregas, we've just lost that power. We've had the likes of Francis Coquelin, we've had the likes of Lucas Torreira, and it just has not worked out. And if you look into some of the best midfielders the Premier League's ever seen, I'm talking your Patrick Vieiras, your Yaya Tourés, these are players that not only were physically absolutely blessed, but also had a technical ability. And I honestly see some of these traits in man as Thomas Partey. Reason number one, the man's an absolute powerhouse, and we need an absolute powerhouse in our midfield. Moving on to the second reason, lads, and that is the man is elite dribbler. What can this man not do? Now, when it comes to the Arsenal midfield, of course, in my last point, I did say that Arsenal lack power, but another thing that we kind of lack is a man who can dribble with the ball, who can run with that ball from his half to the other half and make things happen. Now, of course, some of the dribblers on our team, of course, you've got like Matteo Guendouzi, Dani Ceballos, but none of them are real elite dribblers. If you look into one of the best midfielders right now in the Premier League, of course, Mateo Kovacic, the man is simply an elite dribbler. He completes around 85% of his dribbles, and whenever he gets the ball, you know for a fact he's probably being his man. And to have that type of quality in midfield, it helps Chelsea so much progressing that ball into that final three. And of course, Chelsea, we all know their issue is not making chances, it's more taking those chances. And I think if you look into Mateo Kovacic and what he offers into that Chelsea team, it is a very pivotal role. I, of course, was a man who actually wanted Kovacic at Arsenal back in 2017. Arsenal have listened to me, and look what's happened since, lads. So in terms of Thomas Partey, what you're also getting, surprising enough, lads, is an elite dribbler. Despite being such a unit and such a powerhouse, the man completes 2.8 dribbles per game, and he actually has a higher success rate than Mateo Kovacic himself. So not only would Thomas Partey solve the powerhouse problem in our midfield, but he would also give us an elite dribbler. And in terms of the way football is going, a lot of teams tend to press right now, and the more press resistant players you have, the better your team ends up being. If you look into the best midfields in the world right now and the components that make them tick, a lot of those teams have an elite dribbler. If you look at the likes of Chelsea, they've got Mateo Kovacic. In terms of Man City, they've got the likes of Bernardo Silva. Even if you look into the likes of Manchester United, they've got Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes. These are good dribblers, lads. But if you look at the Arsenal midfield, lads, you end up with Dani Ceballos. It just does not add up, lads. And I think a fundamental component for Mikel Arteta's system, lads, is having a press-resistant midfielder, and Thomas Partey has clearly shown he has elite capabilities to be a very press-resistant player, lads. So, lads, the second reason why we need Thomas Partey is, of course, the man is an elite dribbler, lads. At this rate, Arsenal, I honestly don't know what you're weighing. On to the third reason, lads, and that is, of course, he would solve our defensive midfield role. I mean, honestly, lads, what can this man not do? He's got powerhouse abilities, an elite dribbler, and he can defend as well. Fam, what are we waiting for? In terms of Thomas Partey, not only is an elite dribbler, not only does he have power, and also a very good passer of the ball, he also is a world-class defensive midfielder. I mean, 3.9 interceptions and tackles per game speaks for itself, lads. The man has the ability to defend. And in terms of the Arsenal midfield, lads, I'm not gonna lie, we actually have a very good defensive midfielder there. Of course, the player I'm referring to is man like Lucas Torreira. But in terms of Torreira, if you look at what he offers us, yes, he offers us very good defensive numbers. He still makes a lot of tackles, a lot of interceptions per game, and for me, lads, he's still a very important player for Arsenal. But in terms of Torreira's overall game, it's a very basic player there. His dribbling's alright, his passing's alright as well, but it's not at the level that you want to really progress your game forwards. And of course, in terms of Lucas Torreira, if you look at the fundamentals of the player, the man lacks the height and the power to be a top midfielder. Now, I'm not saying you can't go to the top of football. I mean, you look at N'Golo Kante, the man's 5'7", and he's still a world-class baller. All I'm going to say is you can clearly see his deficiencies. But in terms of Thomas Partey, lads, not only are you getting a player there who has that tackling and intercepting ability, but he also has a lot more to his game. Passing, the dribbling, the power. He would offer Arsenal a far more dynamic option in midfield. And therefore, lads, he would resolve a lot of problems that Arsenal currently have. And again, lads, it's another reason why this guy is a no-brainer. I honestly don't know why Arsenal weighing paid the £50 million. Moving on to the fourth reason, lads. This is a big one, lads. The next Patrick Vieira. Wow, Babs, you really went there. Of course I did. Look at him, he's a baller. Now, in terms of Arsenal, I've referred to this earlier in the video already. Arsenal have never, ever replaced Patrick Vieira. Now, don't get me wrong, we have had some good midfielders over time. I'm talking Cesc Fabregas, Santi Cazorla, etc. But in terms of what we had in Patrick Vieira, we've just never replaced. I mean, of course, it is not easy to replace. You don't get many players who are that tall, that strong, that physically good. I mean, if you look into the Premier League history, the only players that even come close to Patrick Vieira, you can already probably see the likes of Yaya Touré. But for me, me, lads, if you look into Arsenal's glory days, for me, there is no coincidence why Arsenal were winning trophies and winning big games with a powerhouse midfielder, Partey Vieira. The man had everything. He could dribble, he could tackle, he could defend, he could headbutt Roy Keane if he wanted to, he could beat up Roy Keane if he wanted to. And of course, we had a player in Abu Dhabi who, if he had not got injured, lads, he may just have been the next Partey Vieira, lads. But hey, lads, we don't do if buts and maybes, we do absolutes. Well, apparently actually we don't. So for me, lads, I know it's a massive statement to make, lads, but if you look into the fundamentals of the player that Thomas Partey is, he has that power and strength that Vieira used to have, and he also has a very good amount of technical ability. He's an elite dribbler, a very good passer, and overall a very good player. Lads, I'm going to say right now, if we do sign Thomas Partey, he may just be the Partey Vieira replacement we've been waiting so long for. Yep, you heard that right. I just said that. So lads, moving on to the fifth and final reason, lads, and that is of course the man would be a statement signing. Sign Thomas Partey and you are making a massive statement, Arsenal. In terms of making a statement, lads, this is something that I've been saying for years and years. I made video after video saying that Arsenal need to start making statements. If you want to be one of the biggest and best clubs in the world, if you want to be fighting in Europe's best competitions, which is of course not the Europa League, you need to make some statements. If you look into teams like Liverpool, they were like Arsenal before, struggling to make top four, you know, if buts and maybes and all this stuff, and they made statements. Boom, they get Alisson, boom, they get Van Dijk, boom, they get Firmino, and there you go, lads. You have what is, sure, should be a title-winning side, but of course, in terms of coronavirus, that thing's on pause right now. But the point being, lads, is that Arsenal also need to follow suit and make some statements, lads. And in terms of Thomas Partey, if we were to sign Thomas Partey, we would be making a massive statement of intent. Not only would we be sorting a majority of our midfield problems, we'd also be signing a player that a lot of other teams really want. Now, I said this at the start of the video, as I have already said, the likes of Manchester United and likes of Chelsea and Juventus are really after this player as well. And of course, even Atletico Madrid are trying very hard to sign Partey down to a new contract. So if Arsenal would somehow pull off this coup and bring Partey to the Arsenal, we would be making a massive statement of intent. It would show the entire Premier League fan base, everything, that Arsenal mean business. So in terms of Thomas Partey, lads, this would be following that suit of last summer, which was absolutely glorious in its way, and it would be a massive statement signing, and it would massive boost Arsenal's chances of finally one day returning to the Premier League glory. Premier League champions 2021, we are coming for you. That's of course if we sign Thomas Partey. If we don't, then it might just be Championship 2021. Raul and Lehi, get on that door and start knocking in it, because we want Thomas Partey and we are here to get him and get him only. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to end the video there and there. Of course, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to go down there and smash a like on it. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new on the road to 10,000 subscribers and need I say more. Subscribe to the channel. And also, as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments on the video itself. Do we need Thomas Partey? Is he the player that Arsenal needs to spend £50 million on? And are we even going to get Thomas Partey? As always, lads, also let me know other video ideas that you have for me or videos that you'd like to see me make. Also, if you haven't already for some reason, make sure to go down there and subscribe to my group channel with 5 other football YouTubers, and that of course is the Offsiders. We are planning some absolute banging videos in mind. We've already got 1,000 subscribers, so if you could subscribe to the channel as well, your boy would appreciate it. And with that being said, guys, let's end the video there. This has been 5 reasons why the Arsenal Football Club need Thomas Partey. This could have been 10 reasons why, this could have been 15 or 20 reasons why. End of the day, lads, Arsenal need Thomas Partey, so hopefully Arsenal sign Thomas Partey. Anyways, guys, I'll see you next time in a bit.